How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called.
Good afternoon. Today is July 26th, 2020. How's everyone doing? Oh, there's no one in chat. That would explain it. I got DaVinci Resolve up today. Like I've uploaded a completed video for one of my alts, so I think I'm going to save project and log out. Quit. New project. Save project. Export project manager. Project manager? Ah, yeah. So I could sign into different projects from the project manager. So I'm going to go to Ramagus. Might do some recordings today. Still a bit unsure. May or may not. Custom. P4. Looks good. Gaming. Oh. Gaming. Look at the YouTube. Look at the cut page. Yeah, I still haven't figured out where I left off from last time. Let's go see what Cybern's up to today as well. So we might have a conversation with Cybern today. He likes to debate and listen to debates. What's he doing right now? Oh, I said hello to him. He's talking, but I can't hear him. Oh, he's currently debating. he might be interested. We'll see. Even now, TR3 capture screen is stretched way out. Yeah, it kind of is. Huh. Well, I think because Tomb Raider 3 was a 4x3 game. Ah, there's him calling. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. How's it going?
All right. I was gonna say, if we wanted to co-stream, trying to remember how we were gonna go about that.
Yeah, I only know how to co-stream on Mixer. I'm not sure how to do it on Twitch.
Or it's like, first of all, am I taking over a conversation that you're already having with folks on your stream? Because I'm not saying, I'm not one.
Nope. Nope. I have nobody on my screen right now.
Okay, just making sure.
What about you? Am I interrupting something on your end?
No. I
Okay.
mean, I'm just chatting with my gaming group. But,
Cool.
But other than that, no. Which is fine. I can end that. It wasn't all that compelling in the. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I want to make sure I'm muted appropriately. Just gonna disconnect. Because I was gonna admit that the guy that I was conversing with, I don't really care too much for.
Nah.
I mean, he's all right. It's just it's a personality thing. It's not like I think he's a bad person.
Yeah.
It's just we don't mesh. Like I'm just as bad as he is in that regard. But, yeah. So just thinking like, are we both streaming and then chatting, or because I think what I'd like to do is end my stream and join and watch your stream, and then maybe. Do you have a Discord that you're chatting with other people in or something?
Nope. I try to chat exclusively through either Skype or Steam.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to be grinding Labyrinth of the Ancients today because I'm trying to get a certain glamour set. So I'm not really doing anything that really requires a whole lot of thought.
Yeah.
And
well, maybe I'll just keep my stream going and we can just chat in the meantime.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is like
see where it goes. Okay.
Because I'm sure your audience can hear me as well, right?
They're supposed to be able to.
Okay, and my audience should be able to hear you.
Yeah. The audio on the desktop audio is going up and down.
So yep.
Okay, and then we'll just do our thing here. I'm gonna hit record.
And so I can't hear your stream. I have your stream muted right now, so I can't if you're playing, I can't hear Tomb Raider basically. If you're streaming Tomb Raider, I can just hear what you're talking and what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's fine. And then the audience will get the other stuff, like the sound and whatnot. So.
Yep. And then I was also thinking as well, depending on who ends first, we could raid one or the other. I'm probably going to end at my normal time, which is 7. I'm trying to establish some circadian rhythms. So even though it's my weekend, I still want to go to sleep at my normal time.
Yeah.
Totally. And so I'm probably still going to end at 7. So if you're still going, I'll just raid you. So even though my audience was listening to you the whole time, they'll actually become a part of your, they'll actually go to your stream after I'm done, after I raid you. Or vice versa. If you're done, you can give me your audience or whatever.
Actually, and I haven't done it yet, so I'm not even sure what the process is. So that'll be a learning curve.
Yeah, it's just you just go into chat and type /raid and then space and then my Twitch name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a lot more complicated than that for the longest time, but it's just a simple text line command.
What I found is complicated, or at least I think it's complicated, is how to program the damn bot.
Oh yeah.
Streamlabs, looking at all the different codes and shit, and it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
it requires scripting.
Yeah. I just disabled it. I don't care. I come across people trying to advertise on my stream sometimes, so hey, you want to be famous? Buy followers here and shit like that. Yeah, I get that sometimes, but people ignore those. No one gives a shit.
Yeah. I've gotten that a couple of times.
But I haven't gotten anything too horrendous, you know.
Too invasive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when former employee that we worked with used to work with, Nick.
Oops.
He like typed in all caps.
Yeah.
And then the bot told him to stop doing that. And I was like, so
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I didn't program that. And you can write in all caps if you want. I don't care. So
yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how to use the bot. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it has like it has a lot of pretty sensitive default settings. So that's why I figured like I'll figure it out once I come across something I'm uncomfortable with. You know, like people I don't know, something like people linking bad websites or something like that. But you know, even a lot of times, like people like to share links, like of pictures and stuff, and I like to allow that. And so it's happened more often than not. Like I've seen more people stopped by innocent links than perpetrators caught by, you know, shifty links. So, you know, until I come across a shifty link, I'm just going to allow links in my chat. I just really don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, until like the audience gets big enough.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably have to look into that kind of stuff too, like, to turn that shit off. Like basically, I've only been interested in trying to gain regular viewers, and you know, the two people that are like former employees, they keep coming back, and that's kind of cool. But it's like I would rather it be someone that I don't know.
Right.
I mean?
Yep.
You know, like, and then because that really demonstrates a level of interest and success on my part.
Yeah. In order to do that, you'll probably have to start making YouTube videos. I have yet to meet a person. Even the people that I've met through my streaming career, I met them through another streamer who I found through YouTube. You know, because I was just looking up Final Fantasy 14 stuff, and this guy had a video on like for something for WoW refugees. Even though I'm not a WoW refugee, I ended up watching it, and I thought he was entertaining. And then I ended up watching his stream, and so that's how I got into his stream. And then I became a really active person in his stream chat, and I became friends with people that were already in his stream chat. And so my regulars come from him, basically. You know, all the regulars that I have come from that stream chat. So I would have never found him if it wasn't for his YouTube videos. And when I think about it, I haven't found anyone naturally through Twitch. Sweet Anita, I found her off of... Yeah, I found her off of, I think this guy's name's Review Tech USA. He did a video on her Tourette's thing and how it was like controversial because it was like a legit handicap. And then when I found out about her, I told you about her. You know, I was like, oh, check this chick out, right? And then Amaranth, same thing. I found out about... No, Amaranth is the only one I remember, right? Because it was when I first got into Twitch, and she was on like the suggested feed, and I clicked it, and it was just a chick playing a dancing game, you know. And I thought it was interesting because I was just at my brother's house, and his daughter and his girlfriend's daughter, that's what they would do. They would just play the dancing, like some dancing game, and I was like, holy, like that. It's just what like girls do, you know what I mean? Like girls our age would do that without an audience, and now they can sing to their hairbrush, you know, to the entire world if they want. So I thought that was interesting, and that's when I told you about Amaranth. Trying to think. So yeah, I think Amaranth was the only person that I actually found through Twitch, but then like even then, like she probably gets mentioned a lot more on YouTube and is probably discovered a lot more based off of either her infamy or otherwise through YouTube.
The ongoing joke in the Twitch community is that everybody is subscribed to Amaranth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what like the few streamers that I watch,
mm-hmm.
and when she's brought up, she's known for like she does everything. Like she covers every category that Twitch offers, and everybody is subscribed to her.
Yeah.
So not or at least they follow her. They follow her. Everybody follows her.
Not reselling.
She's kind of that like the face of the jack of all trades kind of.
Yeah, yeah. And then trying to think, yeah, every other Twitch person that I follow came through the Final Fantasy 14 community, and anyone that has more than like 20 concurrent viewers has a YouTube channel that they publish regular content to. So it's like people usually, and it's weird because these people they very well could be streaming to YouTube, but they don't. They use Twitch as a separate streaming service, and they use YouTube basically to advertise their Twitch. I know one girl that I follow, her name is Zeppla HQ. I found her through her YouTube videos, and then I think one of her first streams, she made a YouTube video advertising a Halloween stream, and that was like her first Twitch stream. So she actually ended up garnering a built-in audience from the get-go through her YouTube channel. I guess it's easier to build people through YouTube, and then once you build a following on YouTube, you can push them to your Twitch, and then you just keep doing that
for the live stuff.
Yeah, people usually
that dude Devin Nash on Twitch that like knows all the analytics and stuff.
Mhm.
He talks about that a lot. About how using YouTube for analytics to attract an audience.
Mhm.
And Facebook is another one.
Yep.
And Instagram. Yeah. So basically, outside sources from Twitch.
Yeah.
Driving the traffic to it.
The problem with Twitch is it's not really great on discoverability. I mean, if you like if you like a game, you'll go to a game and it will list you like the top streamers. So it funnels everybody to it's basically just like capitalism. Like it's all about the 1%. You become the 1%. Like you've got the people who have 500 viewers end up getting 600 viewers and 800 viewers, while there's 900 people with 1 to 0 viewers. And no one scrolls down that far. It's like going to the second page on a Google search results. Like no one goes to the second page, let alone scrolling down through Twitch to actually find like a small person. All of those small people have to network in different ways,
from
outside sources, yeah, or other Twitch users. Now, why Mixer was so awesome for me was because there weren't so many people on it. So the difference between, like on Mixer, if I was streaming Final Fantasy, I was actually sometimes the highest. I had the most viewers on Mixer of the Final Fantasy 15 category at certain times. Like I had up to like 10 to 15 people watching me, and then sometimes I'd co-stream with another person, and that would guarantee us both being up at the top of the view list on Mixer. Yep.
They can join the number of you. Oh, okay.
Yep, exactly. And so, like, I met a lot. I ended up getting a lot more followers through Mixer because it was such a tighter community. Because Twitch is so bloated. Everyone, like, you got your mega corporations, like your Amaranths, and then you've got your sub mega corporations. So, like in the 14 community, particularly, that would be like Zeppla, Mr. Happy, and Miztech, and Xenosis Vex. Those 4 people are probably responsible for 80% of the stream views that are, yeah. So, and it all, because they're at the top all the time, anyone who is going to stumble across them naturally through Twitch, they're just gonna click on who's watching. People are naturally attracted to that. Like, oh, everybody's watching this person. I want to see why they're watching that person. They must be interesting. Yeah, exactly.
So,
and
like, no offense to her success, but like Pokemon, she's really fucking boring.
Nah.
Like, really. So I don't watch now. Just, like I was watching out of interest just to see like, she's attractive. Okay. She's cute.
Yeah.
But and then it got to where like I was like whenever she would come on, I would click her out of habit. You know, she's on. But then you know, I just like I realized like I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago or so. I was just like I was sitting there and I'm like I'm not even fucking watching it, and it's boring. You know, like,
that's funny.
So I went and found somebody else that you know only has like 5 people. There's this dude that's playing the Elder Scrolls series for the first time, and he's on Oblivion right now. He started from the very beginning. Anyways, it's like he's way more interesting. His layout isn't as flashy, but he doesn't care about that. He doesn't even have a camera.
Yeah.
But he's witty, he's funny, and it's fun to listen to him learn about or experience Elder Scrolls for the first time. So it's like that's where I want to put my view, in content that's actually interesting, not the pretty girl that's the Empire.
Right. And how many people is he streaming to?
On regular, less than 10.
Yeah, so that's another avenue too for you, right? Like this is how Twitch should be used. Unfortunately, it's not used this way. It's used to push higher end streamers, right? But like, so like again, with the guy that I followed, I ended up becoming really active in his chat, and I ended up making friends with people in his chat. Now he doesn't stream to that many people either. He's like around 20. You know, between 15 and 20 people. And a lot of those people aren't really active in his chat, you know. So, and I told him that too, is like, I'm going to stop watching you if you ever get big, because I ain't all about, throwing my messages into a goddamn void of Pepes and Potters, like there's no point. Like if I want to talk to a person playing the video game, I want to talk to them and I want them to notice my chat. Yeah. So
I don't get that either. It's like I'm watching. So she's not interesting to me.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't need my view. Like she's fine.
Exactly.
There's other people that do. And just like the biggest one is like the chat scrolling. Like
yeah.
Nobody. She's only allowing the pay things to go through. Like the voice pay, which you have to pay. I don't know, like $10-$20 or whatever.
Oh.
And then she responds to those. She's not even looking at the chat. Nobody's. So it's like, why are they typing?
Yeah.
That's my thought. It's like, like these 20,000 people, they're typing stuff in the chat. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. There's no point. There's no point at that point. I
don't get it. It's like it's like getting lost in the sycophancy.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
And that's what was great about Mixer as well, is because no one really had a bunch of people. Chat never scrolled like that. So your voice could be seen, quote unquote, could be seen / heard, and you could have conversations with people. On Twitch with the giant streamers, that's not even it. All it's for.
Conversation taking place.
Yeah, all it's for is for people to spam fucking swastikas in the chat to be edgy. Like that's all that's for. Yeah. Because those are the only images that ever get any attention. Applause. Yeah, exactly.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
Hype train, and then everybody types the hype.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all applauding together. Okay.
Yeah, it's like guiding a school of fish at that point.
Yeah.
Like no one's paying attention to a single fish. It's more like the streamer is like manipulating the flock. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, and then her YouTube videos don't, when she does her snippets or whatever, doesn't even capture the chat. So
yeah.
So you're not even part of the content at that point. Not only is she not reading you, she's not even making you part of the content. You're just a viewer. So
yeah.
Just sit there.
Right.
Like that's my thing. It's like just sit there and watch then.
And I think there's a lot of people that do. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. And I would say that again, the only like message that would get through are like strings of swastikas, which are probably filtered out by a bot anyways. So it's like it just seems like once you get that big, it's the Twitch is the chat's pointless. It'd be nice though, is if like you could filter her chat on your end, right? So let's say you met someone when they were small, right? And then they suddenly blew up because they made like a funny YouTube video or some shit. And then for the last 3 months, they've been having nothing but like 300 concurrent viewers who are constantly spamming their chat all the time. But you just want to like get with your friends, you know, that you had met before that person had gotten big. It would be nice to be able to filter like people by join date or filter people by like friends that you've met within that community. But I'm not sure if they really care about going that far into it. You know?
Oh, that's a great idea, then.
Yeah.
What you described is exactly this gal that plays Elder Scrolls. I literally watched her go from her 2-digit to her 4-digit phase.
Oh.
Like, and it happened fast. It happened. I don't know. I don't follow her YouTube channel, or maybe I do, but I don't watch her YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
She must have posted something, or something happened. She did something right, and it was like within a week. It went, and like I was somebody that was, you know, interacting, and she would read my comments and stuff. So I was like a contributor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not anymore.
Huh. Yeah.
Out, like,
yeah.
You know, which is, it's fine. I'm not like jealous or whatever. It's just, it's just interesting that what you described is exactly what happened with this viewer. She's one of the leading ESO streamers now.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, if you go to the ESO category, and if she's on, she's usually on in the mornings. So, and I don't think she streams Sundays, no. But yeah, she's promoted and at the top of the list.
Right on.
So, yeah, I think she even started. So like she was a part of the ESO. You know how there's like communities you can join or whatever.
Yeah.
She started her own, and folks that used to be on this other one. So maybe something happened internally. So like there was a feud. I don't know, but she started one, and now people are joining hers. So
okay.
Yeah, she's a big shot on the Twitch platform now, in Elder Scrolls specifically, online.
Well, it looks like I just got raided by one of my regulars, Seno, and I watch his stream every once in a while too. I play with him sometimes in 14 as well. Hey Seno, what's up, man?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, make sure you're.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was about to tell you. I was gonna, he calls me Rojo Brea.
Yeah. Carte blanche. You and I both know that the audience takes.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if I say something that seems out of the conversation topic, it's probably because I'm addressing the chat. But yeah, well, in Seno, he's also a fellow streamer as well, so I'm sure he'd be interested in the chat topic that we're talking about right now. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. I was, do you know Final Fantasy Peasant?
Do I?
Yeah. Have you heard of him?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, well, he was kind of a bigger YouTuber when Final Fantasy 13 was coming out. And he just recently he sort of indirectly quoted me. I had made a comment on somebody else's stream, or I had made a comment on somebody else's YouTube video, to which he had watched, and so he had quoted me because that guy had quoted me in his next YouTube video. So no. Hey, what's up, Bakusan?
Hopefully it was a positive interaction.
It was, yeah. So the guy. Yeah. The guy's name's Sleep Easy, and he does a bunch of really in-depth Final Fantasy VII lore videos. And he was doing this one about color theory and about apples and flowers, and us being from where we're from. I had to let him know that because he was doing a commentary on apples at the time. And I was like, hey, just so you know, before an apple is an apple, it's a flower first. Right? And that's exactly how I said it, right? It's before an apple becomes an apple, it's a flower first. And so then in his next video, he was like, user Romagus had stated one really key point, and he went like out of his way to mention me, and I thought that was really cool. I could probably link it. Yeah, and it's like permanent, right? It's on YouTube. It's on his permanent YouTube video. It's not like something you'd have to catch live, right? So he totally shouted me out, and then someone bigger than both of us, which was the guy I was telling you about before, Final Fantasy Peasant, had quoted him quoting me. You know, though he didn't say my name. It's not that big a deal. I was just like really happy that my idea got out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that was
and
like
now it's in the community.
Yeah. So not only did Sleep Easy's audience hear, you know, before apples become apples, they're flowers first, but then Final Fantasy Peasants audience heard the same thing, which is an even larger audience, and that's what I'm more interested in, you know, especially in that particular community.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're able to continue making interesting points without making it look too pushy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Then your relevance will maintain momentum.
And that was the thing too. Is like I ended up. So here's another thing. Sleep Easy. Who's the guy who does the 11 or not the 11, the Final Fantasy 7 analysis. He partnered up with another Twitch streamer named Schrodinger's Baby Seal, who is equally as interested in the whole Final Fantasy VII remake deal. And so I ended up subscribing to that guy. And then while they were doing a sort of co-stream thing, Sleep Easy shouted me out again. Yeah, and so that's what's cool about getting to know people when they're smaller, because they actually pay attention to what you say. you're like actually like you're a legitimate part of the conversation, you know.
Yeah. Until everybody is relevant and nobody's relevant.
Right. Yep.
That's why I believe you and I have agreed that like we kind of want to move into double.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless there's really good money on it, we just go ahead and sell out, whenever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's always an option, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's a different thing now.
Yep.
Like as far as if you want to make like kind of like a hobby, you know, something to enjoy.
Yep.
That double digit areas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe triple, you know, like low triples. The reason I say that is because I had originally thought that like once you reach triple digit, you've kind of gone to that next tier, you know, and so then you are losing connection with the majority.
I would say so. Yep.
Like you might have your double digits that started with you, and when they come in, you recognize their names because
Mm-hmm.
they contributed a lot. But it's like when you've gone triple digit, technically you're still responding to your audience as if it's double digit because you're only really responding to those people.
Yep. Yep.
I say that, but then there's this dude, there's a retro gamer, Scoot, Mr. Scoot,
Mm-hmm.
and he almost reaches quadruple. Every once in a while, almost gets there, but he usually maintains kind of the triple digit area. You know what I mean when I say that, right? Number of viewers.
Yep. Number of years.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just making sure. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
am I just saying shit and you're being polite?
Nope.
Anyways, but he's pretty sharp at responding to almost everything that's typed, and he's not in slow mode or anything like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he basically he kind of explained that if you're going to be a streamer and have an audience, you should respond to your audience. So it's like that's
Yeah.
the mindset that he has. So it's like paying more attention to your audience than the game you're playing.
Well, that's kind of what I do. As you know, especially if my audience says something interesting that I feel like I actually have an opinion on, I'll stop playing. Well, because I can't. I that's one trick I haven't figured out yet is how to play the game and also have a conversation at the same time. So I guess that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to practice that right now.
Yeah, I think I do okay if it's a game because I mostly play farming and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not really that distracted. It's like kind of mindless therapeutic shit that's happening. But there have been times when well, it's not with my stream necessarily, but with my gaming group when the conversation's getting hot, or with one of the debates in the other channels that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I pause the game, and then I start engaging in the conversation. So the game's not even happening. It's like, ooh, that's not really the way you do this. So just like you were saying, it's like we gotta kind of find that medium of gameplay and and socializing.
Yep.
And the gal I was referring to, she's really good at that.
Mm.
And she maintains most. She has favored members in her audience, so she engages in conversation with them pretty regularly. But then also continues playing. So she doesn't stop doing that. But I think she's also sponsored, so it's like it's her job. You know?
Yeah.
Like legitimately now.
Well, and once you get so big, like some people, they don't even make their own content at that point. You know, like they have editors. Yep, they have editors and people who have ideas. They're like, "Hey, it'd be cool if you did this," and blah blah blah. Like, I'm not there that, and I don't think I want to be that big. You know.
I don't really either. Yeah. I mean, like I think you and I were both in that limbo where it's like, if I was able to legitimize to you, it's like I know I said this, but dude, look at this paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, or you do say, you know, it's like, okay, so this is becoming something different, a little different. Like maybe Facebook can be that like recreational zone because this other thing is really picking up momentum.
Is there someone? For some reason, this just is. There we go. Finally. What the hell? There's 4 people here. I'm just gonna stay here. Anyway, sorry, man. Like, I was playing the game and we died before because people weren't standing where they should be standing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck? I think it's the other group. I think it's the other groups that are fucking us up.
Oh, is it one of those dungeons where it's like split? You have 2 tanks?
Yep, it's an alliance raid, so we have like 3 tanks actually.
But I've seen you do it.
There we go.
It looks complicated.
It looks complicated, but it's actually really simple, which is which is kind of frustrating. It's like it's 1 2 3 ABC. Yeah, exactly. And people can't figure out 1 2 3 ABC. They kind of need to reassess. Yeah.
Or go back and collect some flowers, like that's what I
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause I tried doing raids in WoW, and I am not good. Like even when it's explained that it's like basically it's something like this. It's like, okay, when they flash green, they're gonna do this, so you need to do this. And then while I'm playing, I don't see any green. I don't see any of that. And then I die, and then somebody types or yells like, "Dude, I told you when they charge green." It's like I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see it. So then I just go back to collecting mats. I go back to what I'm good at.
Well, from what I hear, WoW's alliances are larger and they're meant to be more difficult. While the raids in 14 are meant to be simple, the difficult content is in the smaller areas. The 8-man content is the hardest content, while the alliance raid content is like it's usually catch up content. Like if you're behind on gear or whatever, you can use the alliance raids to catch up to the most recent patch or whatever.
The other thing about WoW that I don't appreciate is that you almost need to have third party.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
In order to like effectively do a difficult dungeon, or I'm gonna adjust my OBS. See, when you remember when I mentioned that I had to stretch it way out to make it work for TR3. Now when I'm running Elder Scrolls, it's like I'm only getting a quarter of the screen on it. But anyways, and that's what some of the folks in the raids or whatever will say. It's like, well, don't you have blah blah blah? And it's like, no, I shouldn't have to. Like the content is technically vanilla. I'm playing vanilla.
Right.
So like, why isn't this working?
Yeah.
And then they get mad. It's like, go get the thing. It's like, no, I'm not going to go get the thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you shouldn't have to. Yeah, we have the exact we kind of have we kind of are starting to get that problem in 14, but thankfully the developers are like extra stringent on like, hey, like no add-ons, stop doing that. Right, like they're where they're at right now is like with parsers, they parse out your data, or they parse out your damage data basically. The issue that the developers are having is a lot of people in chat are putting down people for having bad DPS or whatever, and so like they have to constantly explain that, you know, that's technically a third-party program, and that they don't support third-party programs. If they wanted a DPS parser, they would have included one. The reason they don't include one is because of the exact behavior they're seeing with the community. You know, like it's people being, you know, showing bad behavior in that regard.
Like prejudice due to the fact that you don't have some
Yep.
things or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, and if it comes to the point where the devs of the games are considering that they have to take into account third-party software, then it's like, you guys, this is already failing.
Yep.
Like, you shouldn't have to accommodate for third-party programs in order to run a dungeon.
I agree.
It should all be built in.
Yeah, you should be able to play. Should be able to beat the game vanilla. Yeah.
Yeah, and almost to the point to where, like, if they do it, I would argue, if they design the game well enough and with that in mind, which I am convinced that most of them do, but specifically, then the party program should almost become irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's just an aesthetic, you know.
Well, you know what item level is?
Yeah. Well, at least I do in the context of like what your item, your gear rating is,
Yep.
and whether you're eligible to do certain things.
Well, that's what in WoW it's called gear score, right? I guess from a WoW buddy of mine that I talk to all the time, he says that gear score was an add-on to WoW back in the day, and it's turned into item level, right? So the item level in 14 is a direct response to the gear score add-on that was developed in WoW by a third-party programmer. And then later, WoW ended up putting gear score into the game, if I remember correctly. So, like, yeah, so like I
know that. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm okay with that kind of thing. Like if you feel it's like if you're like an add-on is such a valuable commodity, make it part of the game. You know, but if it's not a part of the game,
it's within the framework of the game.
Exactly.
Them having to bend themselves to the third-party software.
Yep.
I'm not for that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I have to reinstall Elder Scrolls because I told you about the hard drive that died, and I was using that as a Steam library.
Ah. I died.
Not too keen on this new layout. You can tell I punched it out pretty quick.
Well, because you had to make a 4:3 layout, didn't you, for Tomb Raider?
Well, no, no. Tomb Raider has the ability to go 16:9.
Oh, okay.
It stretches everything out.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that wasn't the reason for that. It was just because I lost my other layouts. So
I see.
Quickly tried to crunch this one up to look kind of like the space layout that I had before. I mean, I guess it did a really seriously good show. And, like, the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm just like, subpar. It's obvious.
Well, it's better than nothing. You can always work on it later.
I like that you can borrow from the layout.
Yeah, it's fun. Yep.
much as I bitch about OBS because it is clunky, fuck, there are a lot of features that I think is a very good. I got permanently muted in one of the debate channels that I go to.
Oh no.
And here's why. It's a bullshit reason. Because you're supposed to get permanently muted for harassment and stuff. I looked at the rules, right? And I didn't do any of that. What I did was because Nephilim Crew was in the chat. You're familiar with him, right?
I think, yeah.
Old YouTube creationist, apologetic. Yeah. Anyways, he comes to this channel a lot and fucking starts his shit, which is what starting shit was. He just presents apologizes.
Yeah.
He doesn't present an argument and then try to back it up. He just says a bunch of stuff, and then when anybody starts to like or inquire from him, he insults. He'll be like, "You just don't understand." He'll say things like, "Okay, just I already said this," even though what they're asking is not what he said. It's because he's old and dumb. But he'll say like, "I already said this, so just listen, child, and you'll learn something." He does shit like that.
Oh,
like,
condescending.
Condescending.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. And so like, what I did, just to cut it short, what I did was because he did that again, and I pointed it out again. I even warned everybody when he first came in that I was like, oh, because I heard him say something, and I was like, all right, if you guys wanted to see the chat channel get taken over by someone who just says things about substantiating them, here's Nephilim free. I didn't even have to look at the list to see if he was there. Anyway, so I did that, and a mod heard that. Then later during the discussion, when other people were interrupting him and stuff, she said, quit talking over Nephilim, he drives the channel and brings in viewers.
Oh, lame.
So I was like, oh, he did, I think I even said, I was like, oh, he gets privilege.
Yep.
Okay. So I let him make that point.
That's ridiculous.
When somebody wasn't interrupting, they were just asking him a question that he wouldn't answer, but they kept asking him, and the guy was like, Nephilim, I'm not going to stop until you answer. I'm going to keep asking until you answer. She said that he was harassing them, and I said, why do we have a mod that's a sycophant of this guy?
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's why she kicked you, or he kicked you, or whatever.
I was muted.
Yeah.
I had no mic, so I could sit and listen, but I can't talk because I called her a sycophant.
Yeah.
And it was because of what she said before, because he has privilege. Dude, that's fucking lame.
It is totally lame.
Even if it's true,
Yeah.
do stuff in the background to like support that. Don't just fucking outright say it.
Totally.
Like,
Totally.
How? What a way to discourage your audience. Why do we have a mod in the fucking
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Ah, I died again.
It's funny how like these MMOs, they kind of like lead you along. It's like downloading. Oh, updates. Now play. Downloading updates.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point, do I get to play? Quit pulling my dick here, man. I'm done with the foreplay. Let's go. The other thing I think is funny, yeah. How long is it gonna do? It doesn't say. It's pretty fast. It's like, I was getting mildly bored with Elder Scrolls, so I was like taking a break, and then the hard drive died. So of course, when I don't have access to it, it's like I want it.
Nah. That's funny.
Yeah. Maybe it's because of it.
So yeah, my ultimate goal right now, I shouldn't say ultimate goal right now. My current, I would say short-term goal is I'm trying to free up a hard drive. I've got a bunch of old footage from my early Final Fantasy 14 career that I don't want to get rid of. But it's on a bunch of different characters. And I want to upload them to YouTube to, get them off my hard drive without erasing the memories, you know what I mean? Because I want to use that hard drive for Linux, because for a while there, I was almost exclusively using Linux. Just like, I was almost using it 100% of the time. But then I came back to Windows to clean up that hard drive, and then I got distracted, and I haven't been back ever since. So right now I'm back on Romagus for the time being. I'm not really doing much with them. Today I'm just trying to get some like glamour stuff, not actually like progressing with him at all, but
like farm
yeah. But in the background, my goal is to clear up hard drive space from the footage I had recorded on other characters, and then I would like to get it so that I'm back on. What I liked about Linux was that the entire operating system from the ground up was basically custom. Like the only thing that it could have was what I told it could have. It didn't have any of this extra bullshit that I don't ever use. And it doesn't have any spying stuff on there. It only has the things that I want. And what's really cool about Steam in particular is they've got this program called Proton, which basically what it does is it converts any Windows PC game into a Linux game, and it almost runs it perfectly. And I only say almost just because, because that's like one of the bigger. I think that's one of the bigger hurdles that the Linux community has to get control of, is because PC gaming is so popular, and everyone develops almost every. Even consoles, even the console manufacturers, they generally end up developing for Windows almost as like a side effect of making their game. No one makes a game with just Linux in mind, just because the Linux market share is so small. But if Linux could become a viable gaming platform, which in my opinion is what Valve is trying to do, they're trying to turn Linux into a viable gaming platform over Windows. Man, like that'll just open up a whole bunch of really. What's cool about Linux is it's free, and there's all sorts of different kinds of flavors of Linux that you can have and that you want. Linux. I think the problem with Linux right now is that it's not as easy to just plug and play shit. There's only drivers. Drivers is a big issue on Linux. So I might have superior hardware, but the drivers that run it are inferior. And so the end result ends up being, it's like putting jet fuel into your unleaded gasoline car. It might be better, it might be a better burning fuel, but it doesn't work in a gasoline car. That's kind of, I don't know, that's the best analogy I could think of for Linux gaming. But it's not Windows. And what I like most about it is that it's customizable from the ground up. So I've been.
You can make it yours and run the way you need it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had a lot of fun creating an Arch Linux drive. I have two SSDs. One SSD has my Windows configuration on it, and the other SSD has my Linux configuration. And so all I'm doing right now is I'm trying to free up hard drive space. So because I only have like a gig left over on my Linux drive. So I wanna free up one of my terabyte hard drives so that I could use that as a storage drive on my Linux machine, and then I'll start using Linux almost exclusively.
That'll be a cool transition.
Yeah. Well, and I learned a lot too, and I had fun learning, which was, which was fun in and of itself.
So pulling your hair out, you're actually kind of enjoying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and also what's cool about Linux too is like I guess a lot of people use Linux because Windows costs money. So like a lot of corporations, a lot of servers use Linux like by default. So like learning Linux is actually advantageous for people who want to get into IT.
Okay.
So I see it as not just playing around on Linux, but actually learning a worthwhile skill.
Yeah, a viable skill. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, one of the biggest things is almost all of the software on it is free. And right now I'm using a program called DaVinci Resolve. When before I used the Adobe Suite, I think I was telling you about this last time. Adobe Suite costs something like $50 a month. And I was going halvesies on it with a teacher friend of mine who got a discount because she's a teacher, and so I was only paying like $15 or $20 a month. But even then, in comparison to what like I was trying to do, like the problem with Adobe is it's got all of these different programs that are really heavy in and of themselves. Right? Like they have a really large footprint, and you have to like use them in conjunction separately as their own separate little programs. With DaVinci Resolve, it was doing everything I needed just within the one program itself, and it's Linux compatible. The problem with Adobe is that you can't use it on Linux. I don't even think you can use it on Macs, but it's not Linux compatible. The Adobe Suite is. So I just, when I was on Linux, I just started looking into all of these alternatives to common programs. And I was like, oh, wow, there really is no reason to pay for software. And there is no reason to pay for Windows. I think, there's really, if you know what you're doing, you don't really have to be on the Windows platform. And also what's cool about Linux is a lot of the programmers have made back-end sort of tricksy loopholes that allow you to use your Windows programs on your Linux machines. So even if there's this one program on Windows that you just can't do without, there's a workaround for it.
There's a way to port it over.
Yeah. So that's my ultimate goal, is to kind of, I don't know, I would like to make like a sort of like alt tech / Linux gaming channel, because there's so many downsides to the mainstream. Like look at YouTube. Like YouTube, when we first started watching YouTube, it had no ads, and then it had ads, but they were skippable. But one of the cool things about YouTube is that like you could cuss. You could cuss, you could say whatever you wanted for the most part, and you wouldn't get kicked off, right? I remember
It was still yours.
Yeah, like I remember like if you tried pulling a lot of the atheist community stuff that was happening on YouTube and early YouTube on traditional media, that wouldn't have flown. A lot of those big mainstream atheists like wouldn't have really had a voice if there wasn't that sort of rumbling in the background of like the YouTube atheist community and all that, and it really sucks, because once they let the advertisers in, the advertisers are basically what has started censoring YouTube. Like YouTube and Google's hands are tied when it comes to what they want to allow and what they can't. And a lot of that is tied to whether or not an advertiser wants that message on their video. So I'm trying to look into alternative platforms like BitChute. What other? BitChute, Minds mainly. those are like those are like alternate platforms for Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, it because I'm just tired of the censorship. Like you can't you can't speak against the idea if it's not voiced or if it's not findable.
Yeah, they keep censoring it out. So
yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate to a large degree that like having your own website that you try to like guide people to see the content that if you remember Amendum, right, Gary?
Yeah.
And like I go to his I haven't recently, so I'm already contradicting myself. I would go to his website back in the day pretty regularly just because that was his request and I really liked the content, and he was constantly fucking getting shut down on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then more relevant is Atheist is Unstoppable,
Yep. Yeah.
Same thing. He kept trying to he would advertise if you like my content, just go to my website. It's uncensored. You can see it there. Blah blah blah. And it's like I would try, but I would always constantly go to YouTube first to try to find content.
It's weird.
It doesn't dawn on me that I haven't seen Amendum in a year. And it's like, wait, it took me a fucking year to recognize. That's a problem.
Yeah.
On my part,
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just directing traffic that way is difficult.
Well, that's my same exact problem, right? Like I'm trying to get into these alternate platforms, and what did I do all day? I watched Tim Pool, and here's the thing: I watch people that are on those platforms. I don't have to watch Tim Pool on YouTube. He uploads all his shit to BitChute. I can just watch him there. But for some reason, here I am on YouTube watching Tim Pool. It's like, fuck, man. And he's constantly talking about how it's like there's certain words he can't say because he's on YouTube. When, if he was on BitChute, he wouldn't have to, he could just say what you wanted. And that's the most depressing thing to me. Especially like some of the censorship that they've instilled is just insane. Some of the things that you can't say, It's like you could say that stuff on TV back in the 90s, but you can't say it on TV in the 20s. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's an infraction to the ad revenue.
Yeah.
So even using the phrase "black people" is now censored. Like you will not get promoted, and your video might likely get taken down. And you're not even saying anything bad about them or anything. It's just the word.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You're shut down, and because ad revenue or advertisers are like, nope. If it has to do with that, then we don't want to be behind it. It's like that's crazy racist, and people know it.
Yeah.
But yet we continue to go to the platform. Why?
Yep.
You know what would be a really easy, and this is genuine, an easy solution. Hold on, Tim. Hold on. She's about to go do things with that. A really easy solution is to just if you want a home screen on your browser to remember to check their stuff, you can easily code in an HTML layout with tables that would take 10 minutes maybe of having Amendum's site linked and oh
yeah, totally,
any source, even Facebook, all of it on a home screen, and then just save that to your browser and be always load this first, and then I'm not missing anything, and it's almost like a soundboard. I just click a button and then it loads that website. Yeah,
that's another YouTube feature. Do you remember back in the day where people could make reply videos to certain topics?
Yeah, yeah.
I loved that feature.
Philip DeFranco, that's how he made a career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And because the conversation was happening,
yeah,
people could watch it.
Yeah. And it was so cool.
Response.
Especially when it came to the debate kind of sort of communities, specifically with the atheism communities, you'd see a video from an atheist and then you'd see people replying to it, whether or not they agreed to it or not. And you could view both, oh, what's this guy have to say about what he said? Or what's this person have to say about what she said? That was such a neat feature, which is it. I saw how it was abused, but I would really like for alt tech to to reincorporate that feature. You know, like that's such an awesome thing. That and I think one thing that is, you know, pretty heinous about YouTube is that they don't list your subscriptions in chronological order. You know, so someone you're subscribed to posted a video, it's up in the air whether or not you'll get to see it or not. You know, and I don't know why that is. What is going on with my stream? Are you watching my stream right now by any chance?
No. Here I can pop over.
Yeah, if you could pop it up, because I got some troubleshooting that I could possibly ask you. It looks really choppy on my end, but I'm not sure if it's choppy on your end. Is it really choppy on your end?
Oh yeah.
Super bad, huh?
She's choppy as hell.
Yeah,
it's like 4 frames per second.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like for some reason, it doesn't say I'm dropping any frames.
Yeah, that's displaying.
And it's the only thing that I have open. So I might have to restart the stream, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's choppy on your end too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick restart. Let me see. Let me restart OBS first on the desktop.
Start with OBS. Yeah.
So it won't kill the stream. The stream will keep going. You should still be able to hear my voice, but I'm hoping that. So it should be paused on your end right now, right? It's just like a still image, or is it black?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. Yeah, it's frozen. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if
which is common when it's cut off.
Yep.
Suddenly like that.
So we'll see if that fixed it. All right.
It's not as choppy, but hold on, I'm waiting to see.
It looks pretty choppy on my end. And for some reason I can't. Let me reset my controller. Now I can't move for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's still
super choppy on your end too.
Yeah, it's still choppy.
Okay, all right. Well,
like it was hard to tell because like everybody was standing still, you know. But I was seeing some of the magic stuff.
I think it's something on my desktop end, so I'm going to do a full system reset and see if that fixes it. But I should still have the stream up. The last thing I want to do is have to restart the stream. That's annoying. So I'm just going to do a full reset. In the meantime, I'll watch, or actually I can't watch you. So I'm doing a full restart.
Yeah,
restart system.
Cut off.
Yeah. Well, I can watch you on my laptop. I'll pull you up on my laptop.
Cool.
So what you still playing? What?
I switched over to Sims too.
Oh.
Because I'm waiting for ESO to download. So.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
And yeah, and Sims is in Origin, so it won't interrupt. At least I don't think it'll interrupt the download. Let me see. You know how like when you load something in Steam. Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe it's ready to go. God, this Sims game is resource hungry as fuck. Slows everything else down.
It looks decent.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have it on ultimate settings or whatever.
Oh, I see.
But, yeah, it is a hungry bastard.
So what are your plans? What are your plans gaming wise? Sorry, it sounds like you were just about to get into it.
Well, yeah, that I'm like replaying the Mass Effect series. Because I'm kind of interested to buy the 4th one, even though the title got shit on. But I saw it somewhere. I think it was Epic Games for a discount. So But before I bought it, I wanted to replay the series to make sure that I'm even interested.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I need to know is they kind of have like a almost like a new game plus feature to it,
Yeah.
sort of, where it's like the character from the previous game can be transferred over to the next title. You don't have to do that,
Yeah.
but it's a cool feature.
Yeah, that's what I thought was really cool about Mass
So I don't know
Effect.
if the fourth title will do that. I need to find out if that's the case. So.
I think I have to do like a hard button reset, so I got to get up. I'll be right back. Whoopsie!
Tearing the place apart. All right. Hopefully, my characters are all intact. I would imagine they are because it's going to be on their server, but anything could happen at this rate. Hey, the good news is your frame rate's a lot better. The black seems to be scrolling really quickly. Hope you're not taking a dump.
No. I think my computer might be on its last legs.
It sounded like you're giving it a good push. I feel that way about my desktop as well. Like it crashes a lot now.
Mm.
Like regularly throughout the day. Trying to think of how many hours I might want to admit that I put into gameplay. Let's just say 16 hours. It'll
Yeah.
crash like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, jeez.
Like full on crash. Like I have to like hold the button down and kill it and everything. It's like Jesus.
I have to figure out a way to get chat into my Streamlabs, because I used to have it mixer chat on my Streamlabs, but I don't. Mixer's dead now, so I had to switch over. So I got to find a way to get Twitch chat in my Streamlabs.
It's pretty straightforward. You'll be able to figure it out in a few
Okay.
minutes. You know how short tempered I am, and like if something's difficult, I kind of walk away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I managed to get it.
All right.
Streamlabs basically, yeah, like on their site, I'll give just like a brief overview. It's not going to be completely step by step, but it's widgets, like all widgets, and then in that selection you'll see the chat, and then you can customize it, and then you copy the URL of that chat. Now that I don't understand, I'll be honest, how that works. But anyways, then in OBS you open up a browser source, and then you type in that URL, and then your chat can be stretched out and placed. That's basically the brief way of doing it.
Oh, I know how to get chat to show up on my stream. I'm trying to get chat.
Okay.
I'm trying to get chat to show up on the OBS. You know, like where it shows your video on locally. You know, and you could switch sources and stuff.
No, I guess so. I'm ignorant to what I misunderstood.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize. I thought you meant like getting the chat on.
No. Come on. But yeah, I mean, it's my system. I made this system specifically for Final Fantasy 14 1.0, and that was 10 years ago. Be 10 years ago next month.
Yeah, I don't even know how old my desktop is, to be honest. I think it's younger than that, but probably not by a lot.
All right, we get back in game. Got OBS up. Restream back up. All right. Should be good. Galantis, I notice you're in here. Galantis.
Give us a heads up.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Frame rate looks normal so far. Yeah.
Good, good. What? Galantis, what's up, man? Sorry if I missed any of your chats before. I was having technical difficulties.
He unfollowed you for it.
Yep, probably. Mess with the Galantis, get the horns. Ah, he was just lurking. So, oh, okay.
Don't mess with the bull. You'll get the horns. It's a Breakfast Club. You probably already knew that, but when you said that, that's immediately what I thought of was Breakfast Club. Only because I've seen that movie like 10,000 times or more. Ew. An NPC perp next to me. I think he got some on my shirt.
What is going on? Why is my character a conjurer?
Uh-oh. You've been hacked. That's what was going on.
This is so... yeah. And
I'm joking, but like I hope it's a joke.
My controller's not working either. But it looks pretty smooth at least.
Yeah, the frame rate is fine, yeah. My controller is on you know, like it's on the way out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The left, I always forget what a bumper or trigger is, but one of them it like sticks every once in a while. So like in No Man's Sky, because you use those to like rotate the ship, you know, not turn it, but make it barrel roll. And sometimes it'll lock, and then the ship will just it'll just go into a barrel roll. It's like shit, get out of it. I have to like wait.
I don't know what is causing... yeah, just out of nowhere, my Steam controller stopped working properly. I mean, it works, like I can do some things, but it's not doing what it should be doing.
It's almost like it's on the wrong profile or something.
Something, yeah, something like that.
That's what happens with my Logitech every once in a while. Is like, even though I'll specifically pick the right game profile, and then tab over to the game, and then like you're describing, like the keystrokes are wrong. You're like, wait, that's not ASW. What?
Mm-hmm.
And then I tab back, and it'll say Minecraft. It's like, no, I totally selected Tomb Raider. Like, what are you doing? Where am I going? Oh yeah. So maple bow and shield.
Nope. That is annoying.
Come on, controller, come back. Gonna go AFK for a moment. I'm gonna go make some more tea.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'll be right back.
Let's see. Controller HUD. So yeah, Steam recognizes it. So it's working. It's just for some reason 14 isn't allowing it to work. This is a no-go for me. If I can't get this figured out.
How many years have come and gone since that day?
See if my menus are showing up.
For this moment. For the one that stood alone against the storm.
Yep. They're showing up.
For the one they called.
So it's not Steam problem.
The warrior of light. What sayest thou, Master Matoya? We may accept this fate or defy it, but we cannot deny it.
It's radial menus instead of.
I am not wont to run from my troubles.
Instead of touch menus. See how that works.
Until our friend returns, I will hold the line.
This town certainly has changed, and not at all for the better. I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Infilia.
Steam client bootstrapper. Maybe it's rewas that's getting in the way. Or it could be the Logitech overlay as well. Game controller mapping service. Should be fine.
Greater even than the seventh umbral calamity must be undone. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what you must. Become the warrior of darkness.
Yeah, it's not working. Well, sorry folks. This is going to be something I'm going to have to figure out off stream. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Sano, Galantis, any Sino's supporters, and Cybern as well. Sorry I had to be like this, but I'm going to have to end it. I think what I'm going to do is... What's that? Oh, that's Cybern. I'm going to play a song for you guys before I head out. Yeah, you too, Galantis. Thanks, and again, thanks for stopping by. This really troubles me because my whole entire 14 career has kind of revolved around the Steam controller, and if the Steam controller doesn't work, I don't play 14. Over here. There we go.
Sorry about the alarm. Jeez.
That's all right. No problem.
Like I heard it when I was out in the kitchen. I'm like, oh fuck, his audience is gonna hear that shit.
We could barely hear it. But yeah, I'm ending the stream. I gotta troubleshoot this Steam controller issue. Meanwhile, I'm going to give you my viewers. I'm gonna raid you.
Oh dear.
Yep. And we're rating Cybern. 1, 2, 3.
Are you you're ending for the evening, or
Yeah,
what's your plan on
I've got to troubleshoot it and figure it out, and I don't want people to just keep watching me get frustrated trying to troubleshoot it. I'd rather them
Yeah.
I'd rather them watch you and maybe listen to me in the background.
That's fine. There we go.
Did you get my raid?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't see where it says it, but yeah. I saw the audience count go up.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, welcome everybody.
Yeah. So
Excited to stick around. Yeah. If you want to do an intro or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Cybern likes to do debates, all sorts of different kind of political debates. So, kind of like me, I don't try to censor political or religious debate. I'm fair. It's one of the few channels that I found that on. Like every other channel, no matter how edgy they are, they're always like no politics, no this, no that. And I'm like, I don't know. For my channel, it's like if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, then there's a time for politics and there's a time for not. And so yeah, I mean, I'm fine with political debate. I think I don't have any official rules put out there, but I mean, I don't think any racists follow me anyways, and I think that's like your only really big rule, right? It's just like basically no proselytizing and no racism. That's pretty standard.
And then if you're engaged in a debate